What if I told you that you can study abroad for up to a year without delaying your degrees, with a full scholarship, and even get paid? I know it sounds impossible, but that's exactly what happened to me. Oh my god, the wind. So I went from Ethiopia all the way to South Korea, and that's where I did my undergraduate degrees. And there I had the opportunity to study in Portugal for 6 months in an exchange program. And honestly, that experience changed my life completely, that I decided to do it full time for 2 years for my master's. So, what is it that I'm talking about that you ask? Well, it's called an exchange program. And in this video, I will explain what an exchange program is, how you can apply, and why I believe that every university student should do this at least once if they had the opportunity to do so. But before I tell you and explain what an exchange program is, let me tell you why it was the best decision that I've ever made. Back then, I thought studying abroad was mostly about academics. It just sounded really fancy and more credential to have your degree from another country than your home country, right? I thought the biggest benefit would be having that degree from another country, but I was wrong. The biggest transformation actually happened outside of the classroom. So when I first moved from Ethiopia to South Korea, everything was different. The food was different, the language was different, the culture was different. Even the simple things like ordering food, opening a bank account, or even like registering online for courses is completely different. And it really felt like it was an adventure. Moving to another country, it teaches you to become more independent. You learn how to be your own problem solver. And you also learn to adapt, and you learn how to communicate people who are completely different from you. You learn to become friends with people who had a complete different upbringing than you, different religions, different cultures. And so studying abroad is not just for the academics, but it's also for personal growth that you would not have gotten if you just stayed in one place. So with that being said, let's talk about what an exchange program is, right? So an exchange program is basically when your university gives you the opportunity to study abroad for a semester or up to a year while still being enrolled in your home university. Think of it this way. Let's say that you're studying in the UK and you've always dreamed of experiencing life in Japan. Well, you don't have to wait until graduation. You find out that your university has partnerships with universities in Japan. So through this exchange program, you can spend a semester or up to a year in your favorite country. You take classes, you earn credits, you experience studying, what it's like to study in a completely different country, and maybe learn some Japanese, maybe drink some matcha, I don't know. Then after a year after that semester is finished, you return to your home country and continue your studies from where you left off in Japan. You don't start over, or you don't lose any year, and you don't have to repeat any of the courses as well. Let's use this simple example. So let's say you are in your third year first semester. Instead of spending that one semester in your home university in the UK, you decided to go to Japan to continue that semester, right? So you study in Japan, you stay there for one semester, and when you come back, all your credits all are transferred to your home university, so you start your studies from your third year second semester. And if you decided to do it for the whole academic year, it's basically, so you study for 1 year in Japan, right? When you come back to the UK, your home university, you continue as a fourth year student. I hope that's clear. But if you have any questions, obviously, make sure you drop them in the comment below and I'll try to explain them as much as I can. Now, the big question that everybody has been asking for is, how much does it cost? Well, the good news is, not only you don't have to pay an extra tuition fee, but a lot of these programs are sponsored by scholarships that are willing to cover your monthly expenses. So it's way more accessible than people think. So in my case, for example, I received an Erasmus exchange program scholarship to study in Portugal in University of Porto. That scholarship covered for my monthly expenses, providing me some monthly stipend. I think it was around like 1,000 euros per month, and for a student at that time, it made a huge difference. For the first time in my life, I was not worried about my finances, so my focus was just to study, to be in the moment, to experience life and culture of Portugal. And because it was in Schengen area, I get to travel to different countries in Europe, and it was just the best experience of my life. Like, I don't even have the words to explain it. And honestly, I was not prepared by how much it would change me as a person. It was the first time I was actually in my early 20s, and it was the first time I ever did solo trips to different country. It was amazing. I was so surprised by how much confidence that I've gained, how much independence that I had. And when you're constantly navigating unfamiliar situations, you become more and more resilient, and you realize that you can figure anything out. And it was also so fascinating to meet people from all over the world. Strangers will become your friends. Like, I had roommates who from Italy, Poland, Slovakia, Czech Republic, and we became really close friends. And it would just give you that really transformative, like literally 360 transformative experience of your life that you would not have gotten if you've never went on an exchange program. And these opportunities, sadly, a lot of students don't realize that they even exist. Like, all you have to do is literally just go to your the international team in your university. Well, I will explain more about it later, but you just have to know that a lot of these exchange programs, if you think that you are unable to afford it, a lot of these programs, they are covered by scholarships. You just have to ask the right person. Because the challenge is that a lot of students, they don't know where to start or where to look or who to ask. But I've made several videos about this, on how you can apply or where you should start in your application process. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, and also follow me on Instagram and TikTok, where I have like short forms of updates about like travel abroad, studying abroad, and exchange programs, and also about my experience, because I watched about thousands of YouTube videos just to understand what an exchange program is. And also I had to ask like my professor how to do it, but I will just make more videos about it so you can have like a clue on how you can be the next applicant. So as a recap, an exchange program allows you to study abroad for a semester or up to a year without delaying your degrees, and there are a lot of scholarship that actually helps you to not only study but also travel and experience life and never worry about your finances while you're studying and enjoying life, honestly. And for me, it took me from Ethiopia to South Korea to Portugal, and now I have just completed my master's degree, and I've done this for 2 years of 4 different universities of exchange program, which is amazing. And in the next video, that's what I'm going to talk about. Through an Erasmus Mundus Master Scholarship Program, I got to do this exchange program in 4 different universities for 2 years. All expenses paid. I did not pay any tuition fee, and I was even getting like monthly stipend. So I'm going to talk about what it is, who it's for, and just see if you are eligible to apply. And just make sure you like this video if you want to know more about the application process, or just generally about my experience. And also, before you go, I wanted to ask, if you could go on an exchange program, which country would you go? Leave it down on a comment below. Just say which country and why you would like to go, and then maybe we can explore some options. Because if you follow, I will put my website down below. I have started an educational consultancy where I help students discover study abroad opportunities, and you might be the next person to be able to use my services. So if you want to do that, make sure you comment down below which country you want to go and why, and then I will reach out to you. All right, bye.